what Ben Rhodes said. You know, we told you there was this division between the moderates and the hardliners in Iran. If we got behind the moderates, maybe we could someday have peace. Well, there aren't any moderates, and we were negotiating with hardliners before a so-called moderate even got elected. So we all put it out. We put it out because these reporters don't know anything. The average reporter, said Ben Rhodes, is 22 years old and literally knows nothing. And they become an echo chamber. Now, that is amazing. And there is this business about James Rosen, a Fox reporter, some years earlier had heard that the Obama administration was secretly negotiating with Iran. Now, this is well before we even knew that he was negotiating, well before anybody ever heard of any moderate Iranians. Rouhani, the so-called moderate, was not elected until 2 years after this. And the Obama State Department is now admitting that they took out that 8-minute exchange when they posted a video of that exchange with James Rosen. Here's what happened yesterday when the State Department admitted it.
News Alert, I'm Brett Baer in Washington. President Obama's State Department is admitting tonight that it deliberately edited out of its video records an exchange between our chief Washington correspondent James Rosen and the department's then spokeswoman. That exchange appeared to acknowledge an earlier lie from a different spokeswoman and then to justify it. At first, the edit was called a glitch. Now, we know different. Correspondent Peter Ducey has specifics tonight. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. There was no technical glitch. The State Department admitted today instead they deliberately deleted an 8-minute exchange about whether or not they lied to hide Iran talks. That exchange, an investigation found, was removed from State's YouTube channel and replaced with a white flash just minutes after a briefing in 2013, when an editor got a call from someone at State delivering specific orders to delete our correspondent James Rosen's questions and then spokeswoman Jen Psaki's answers.
Who gave the order to delete that 8-minute exchange? Who?
But since that editor can't remember who called with those instructions, don't expect anyone to get in trouble.
Can you believe that? Somebody told somebody to delete 8 minutes, but the somebody who deleted it says, I can't remember who told me.
I asked the Office of the Legal Advisor to look into this. They did. They pursued it for me, and we got about as far as we can go. The individual who took the call doesn't remember anything more than that it was being passed on from somebody else in the Public Affairs Bureau. I cannot be any more specific than that right now.
That's the State Department spokesman. Amazing.
This all started in early 2013. Spokeswoman Victoria Nuland denied any talks with Tehran. When Rosen went back at the end of that year and asked if that was true, spokeswoman Jen Psaki gave an answer that was so unsatisfactory to someone at State, it was scrubbed from the internet until a few weeks ago. And this is the part of the response they tried to bury.
Now here's what they took out.
Is it the policy of the State Department where the preservation of the secrecy of secret negotiations is concerned to lie in order to achieve that goal?
James, I think there are times where diplomacy needs privacy in order to progress. This is a good example of that.
Nobody would know about government employees deceptively deleting this video if our producer had noticed the edit while pulling tape for a completely different story. And the State Department said this afternoon they don't know if any other clips have been edited out the same way. Brett?
And they're not investigating further. We'll talk about this with the panel. Peter, thank you. Now to presidential.
So the only reason they got busted is because the reporter who had been involved in the 8-minute exchange, working on another story, remembered it. Outside of that, nobody else even noticed. So the State Department was asked, are you going to do something about this? Have you done it before?
Can I just ask if there were any other... This example was only discovered by, I think, the reporter who asked the question back in 2013. So have you asked and found out if there were other examples? Was this a regular thing, going back and changing videos?
I'm not aware of any other instance where this happened before. But I can't tell you with great certainty, Brad, that it never happened before. I'm not aware of any.
Okay.
And I don't have, we don't have the time or the resources to go back and look at every single briefing from the past. But I'm not aware of any.